Hey everyone, and welcome. If you're using QuickBooks Online, you know bookkeeping can be a real-time sink. Well, today, that's going to change. I'm going to show you how to put your bookkeeping on autopilot, get a ton of time back in your day, and really let QuickBooks do the heavy lifting for you.
So let's just kick things off with a single number, 80%. Think about that. For most businesses, a whopping 80% of all their financial transactions are repeats. It's the same coffee shop, the same software subscription, the same client paying you, month in, month out. That is a ton of repetitive work.
And that's the real headache, isn't it? That feeling of déjà vu as you sit there, clicking and typing, categorizing the exact same stuff over and over and over again. It's not just boring, it's valuable time that you could be using to, actually grow your business.
But there's an amazing solution hiding right inside QuickBooks. So here's our game plan for this explainer. First, we'll talk about the huge opportunity here with automation. Then, we're going to break down what a rule actually is. After that, we'll build our very first one together step by step. And finally, I'll show you how to manage the whole system you've created.
Okay, so let's start with the automation opportunity. The best way to think about QuickBooks rules is like hiring a super smart personal assistant for your books. You just have to train them one time, and from then on, they work 24/7 in the background, handling all those repetitive tasks for you, and they never, ever make a mistake. So how does this assistant work? Well, what's so cool is that every single rule, no matter how complex, boils down to just two simple parts. You've got conditions and you've got actions. The conditions are just you telling QuickBooks, hey, when you see a transaction that looks like this, and the actions are you saying, I want you to automatically do that with it. That's it. Look for this, do that. Simple as that.
And before we jump in and build one, here's a massive pro tip. You're going to see two main ways to identify transactions: description and bank text. Now, the description is what QuickBooks cleans up and guesses for you. But bank text, that's the raw, unfiltered, sometimes messy-looking data that comes straight from your bank. Here's the key. You almost always want to use bank text to build your rules. It might look a little weird, but it is way more consistent and reliable, which is exactly what you want for automation.
All right, time to roll up our sleeves. In this next section, we're building our very first rule. Don't worry, I'm going to walk you through every single click. You'll see just how easy this is.
So first things first, where do you even find this feature? In your QuickBooks Online, just look over at the left-hand menu. You're going to click on Transactions, then from that menu, choose Rules, and then you'll see a big green button that says New Rule. That's where we're headed. So now we're in the Rule Creator. We're starting with Step 1, which is setting the conditions. Remember, this is the what to look for part. So you'll give your rule a name that makes sense to you, like gas station purchases. Then you tell QuickBooks if it's for money going out or coming in, and which bank accounts or credit cards it should be watching. Now, this is how you get specific. These are your main tools for telling QuickBooks how to find the right transaction. Most of the time, you'll use contains. So if the bank text contains the word Enbridge, you know it's your gas bill. It's super flexible. Doesn't contain is great for excluding things, and is for those rare times you need a perfect match, like for a specific invoice number.
And you can get really precise here. You can layer up to 5 different conditions on top of each other, and you can tell QuickBooks if a transaction needs to meet all of them to qualify or if just any of them is good enough. But here is the single most important button on this whole screen, Test Rule. Please click this before you save. It'll instantly show you all the past transactions your rule would have caught, so you know for sure that it's working exactly like you want it to.
Okay, once you've dialed in your conditions, it's time for the easy part. Step 2, defining the actions. This is the what to do with it part. You just tell QuickBooks what to do once it finds a match. You'll set the transaction type, like expense. You'll pick the right category from your chart of accounts, like utilities, and you'll add the payee. You're basically pre-filling everything you used to do by hand. So, you've officially built the rule. That's awesome. Now for our last section, automate and manage. This is where we really put this whole system to work and show you how to stay in the driver's seat.
And this right here is the ultimate power-up. It's a little checkbox called Auto Add. When you flip this switch, you take your rule to the next level. It goes from being a helpful suggestion to a completely automated action. This is true hands-off bookkeeping. But, and this is a big but, a word of warning that comes directly from QuickBooks itself. You really want to use Auto Add with caution. It's perfect for things that are super predictable, like a fixed monthly rent payment or a software subscription. For anything that can vary, it's probably best to leave it turned off until you're really confident your rule is perfect.
So here's what that choice actually means for your workflow. With Auto Add turned off, the transaction pops up in your For Review list, all filled out with a little rule tag on it. All you have to do is click Add. But with Auto Add turned on, you won't see it at all. It completely bypasses the For Review tab and goes straight into your books. It's just done.
And finally, this isn't something you just set once and forget about forever. This is a system you control from your Rule Command Center, which is just the main rules list. From here, you're in complete control. You can drag and drop to change the priority of your rules. You can edit them when your business changes, copy them to make new ones super fast, and of course, turn them off or delete them anytime. You are always in command.
And so, we've come full circle. We started with that huge number, 80% of your transactions being repetitive. But now, you have the exact tool to automate pretty much all of it. Which really just leaves one final, and I think pretty exciting question for you. What are you going to do with all that time you're about to save?